a second and just kind of review the Cityworks mobile offerings that we have. I work with a lot of you on a regular basis, and I get questions often of which of the Cityworks mobile tools is the best one for our organization. And what it really boils down to is there typically isn't a one-fits-all solution across an entire organization for which of the Cityworks offerings is really the best. So I just want to take a second and kind of review what those offerings are, and then I'm going to invite a few of our staff up to help illustrate some of the new enhancements in relation to those. First off are the Cityworks native apps. Several of the organizations here are already using these in production. These are lightweight apps that are really streamlined and really intended to be used for a lightweight, quick and easy field experience, built on the iOS and Android platforms. They also have the benefit of being able to go offline and be disconnected. Another option that we've introduced with Cityworks 15.1 in 2015 initially was Cityworks Respond. It's an HTML5 app. It's more responsive, it's more dynamic, renders regardless of whatever the device is. And this one is truly designed and configured for that end user experience in the field. It's meant to be interactive, touch sensitive, and it's really responsive, hence the name Respond. And as we mentioned before, there's still tablet with Cityworks. This provides the full functionality of the application, but it allows it to have a UI that might be changed dynamically through the XML or just through some of the experiences where it's been optimized for use on a tablet, but it still allows that end user in the field to have the full functionality of the application based off their workflow. And then we also have our partner solutions, and we definitely consider these part of the Cityworks mobile offerings. There's many of the solutions from our partner base that fill holes that our offerings don't. And so typically the answer that I provide back to clients when they're asking which of the Cityworks mobile offerings works best for us, it's typically a combination. It's usually looking at the workflows of your users and what type of environment they're going to be working in, if you have any device requirements within your organization, and being able to mix and match a use of those. Most often what I see being successful are clients who are using native apps out in the field for a few users where they might be going into facilities where they're going to lose their connection, Respond for other users, tablets for others, and then oftentimes the clients will even have a fourth solution with the partner applications. But it's oftentimes a mix and match of these that we can provide. It's a full matrix of the functionality across all of these applications. So to kick off and show how we've been enhancing those mobile native apps, I've asked Christensen to join us on the stage.
Thank you, Becky. I'm excited to share with you today a few of the things that we've done to improve our mobile native apps. And although I'm working in the iOS app today, the Android app is exactly the same. The first improvement that I would like to share is the ability to define saved searches that will show up in the inbox in the mobile apps. Previously, work activities had to have a status of open and be assigned to an employee in order to show up in his or her inbox. Now, you can define a saved search to display in that employee's inbox, regardless of the status and the submit or dispatch to. This allows for a configurable user experience. For example, you might have an employee who only needs to see hydrant flushing work orders, or another who only needs to see inspections with a priority of 1. There are 2 different ways that this can be configured once the saved search has been created. First, an administrator can define saved searches that will show up in the inbox of everyone who is in that domain. In Designer and Preferences, there's a new tab for configuring mobile settings. And as you can see, I've already added my hydrant flushing work order saved search to the inbox saved searches preference. The other way that this can be configured is by the individual user in user settings. There is an inbox saved searches preference here as well, and this is where users can control their individual inboxes. They could add saved searches to be displayed in addition to those defined at the domain level, or remove any domain level saved searches that they do not wish to see in their inbox. Now I'm going to log into the mobile app, and we can see the hydrant flushing work orders from my saved search displayed here in my inbox. The next improvement that I would like to share has to do with setting the status of a work activity once it is completed in the mobile apps. Previously, marking a service request, work order, or inspection as complete in the mobile apps did not trigger a change to the status of that work activity. You might have a specific status that is unique to your organization or unique to a workflow, though. So now you can configure that status to be used when work activities are completed in the mobile apps. And you can also create saved searches based on the status of fieldwork. So I'm going to return to Designer and go back to my mobile preferences. And these top 3 preferences are used to define which status work orders, service requests, and inspections will be set to when they're completed in the mobile apps. For example, this hydrant flushing work order here has the status of assigned. I'm going to open that same work order in the mobile app. But before I mark this as complete, I want to show you a couple other new features. First, I can tap the green map icon in the top right-hand corner to view the location of this work order on the map. Here, I can see this work order's location as well as its description, and then I can tap it to return to the main work order screen. The other new feature is the ability to display custom fields on service requests and work orders in the mobile apps. As you can see toward the bottom of the screen, my water hydrant flushing custom fields are automatically shown on my work order. And I can tap that to view those custom fields and complete them. And then return to the work order. Now that I've populated my custom fields, I'm ready to complete this work order. Then I just need to return to the map so that I can sync the changes that I've just made. Now I can return to Cityworks Office and open the inbox to view a saved search that I've already created to show work activities that are completed in the mobile apps. And we can see that the work order that I just completed in the app shows here in my saved search because it's been updated to reflect its completion.
Thank you, Christine. And one of the things I wanted to point out in that demonstration that Christine just did, I'm not sure how many of you are already using the mobile apps in deployment, but that sync that she just performed and that response back in terms of when she saw the update back in Cityworks in the inbox, that was a dramatic reduction from what we've seen in the past with some of the previous releases of the native apps. And there's been a lot of enhancement done there as well to improve that performance and that sync time. But also those enhancements, they really allow you to go ahead and take those mobile apps and make them your own and configure them to your workflows and make them customizable and filter down to exactly what those end users need in the field rather than a more blanket application of the functionality. So thank you, Christine, for showing that.
Thank you.